Welcome. This is our first nervous system hack in Gravity Yoga's tutorial. Now, if you're stumbling onto this page via YouTube algorithm, welcome, hi. I do recommend that you click into my actual website itself to get a sense for what the heck is going on, and or start with the first practice audio. This entire series is all about getting really flexible really quickly so that you can return to that healthy, vibrant, easy moving self that you used to experience when you were a child. And all of us have that capability within us. We just have to know how our body works in order to do it. Now, this particular video is on the nervous system hack of orienting. Okay, orienting our body in space. You'll see very soon why this is actually an exceptionally helpful tool. But in order for us to realize it, we actually need to get into a pose. This particular one is called child's pose. It's a classic. You're going to be placing your big toes together, your knees are apart, your hands are above your head, and your knees are kind of the guiding principle here. How wide they go determines where the stretch exactly appears in your hips. There's no right or wrong, but maybe placing them a little bit wider than you're used to. And now that you're in the position, I'd love for you just to close your eyes. You don't actually have to worry about what I'm doing because I promise I'll be staying in this position the rest of the time. You won't see anything extravagant or interesting over here. Instead, what's important is what's happening on the inside of you from your first person point of view. Now, I teach this in many of my other courses. It's an exceptionally powerful tool. It's what I call the hologram. Okay, the hologram is basically our outline of ourself, where we think we are in space. Our proprioceptive awareness is what it's called in nervous system language. So right now, for instance, you know your hands are above your head, your feet are down behind you, your knees are plopped out to the side. It's just a guess as to what your physical form is up to at any one point. Now, of course, if your body is some sort of machine that you're operating, so you can even move your left hand a little bit in space and get a sense of this. It's like you send a command into your spinal cord and it gets sent up into the hand and it does what you please. Therefore, it often feels as though we're almost using our body like a puppet on a string. But if there's a puppet, there's a puppeteer, and there's the location of the puppeteer. What I'm trying to say is you seem to be existing somewhere inside of the body, controlling it like a machine operator. And typically what most people feel is that they are inside of their own head. They're in the center of their skull, using their body like a joystick in a video game. Now, this is all fine and good, and, it's not quite accurate. I discuss this and examine this often in my full trainings. But what I'd like you to notice here for yourself is that the center where you think you are inside of your head is actually slightly off-centered. Okay, so right now, even though, you say, I'm in my head, I'm kind of in my brain, but are you in the center of your brain? So for instance, whenever I run this experiment, I always seem to be a little bit down and to the left, closer to my left eye than anything else. And of course, this affects everything because where we think we are in our body determines our hand-eye coordination. It determines where we think our hologram or the map of ourselves is. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to do your best to come into the center of your forehead. Try that. And you can actually use the pressure of the ground. You can feel the earth against and in between your eyebrows. And you can use that as a little button, a button that gets pressed that unlocks the body. And from here, once you've oriented, and you'll be doing this in between every single pose, gathering information about where you are in space, then and only then will you practice lunar breathing. So you're in the center of your body, and you take a deep breath in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale out of the mouth for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, in between breaths, you come back to the center of your head and you see if it's shifted. If the center of your head is shifted ever so slightly, this is orienting yourself towards what I call the Eastern Star. The third eye is another name for it. Try again. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale out of the mouth. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Drop, drop, drop. 3, 2, 1. Relax everything. Relax everything. Okay, come on back up. That was short and sweet and not too much of a stretch. Hopefully you got something in your hips and a little bit in your shoulders. But this particular nervous system hack, though it might seem inconsequential, it will become more and more important as your journey progresses. In particular, the closer you get to your actual center, where you really, really are in space, continuing to orient, finding over and over small iterations. I'm not here, maybe I'm a millimeter over, maybe I'm a nanometer above this. Over time and eventually, what's going to happen is this Eastern Star, this third eye, is going to burn up in a brilliant, dazzling display of colors and light and energy. This is part of what a Kundalini awakening entails. And yes, it's a little bit intense, but it's also quite beautiful when we can get into it. Okay, I encourage you to continue this tutorial. You're almost there. The next practice, the next hack is all about pinging. So you're pinging from the center, you're sending out a command from the center of your forehead, trying to gather data about where your body is tense. I hope to see you there.